So, I have had the Karoo 2 now for a week and a weekend, and I will confess, here it's winter, and last weekend I only went out on the with the family. This morning I was supposed to have got up at 6:30 in the morning to go down to Box Hill, and it wasn't happening. So all this has had in the week is 2 or 3 kind of small rides of 30 kilometers because it has been single digit temperature and then it rained a few days. So it's not exactly, fair weather riding, but I thought it'd be good to show you where it is battery style, what I think of it after a week. And yeah, let's get back to the format that I did a little while ago, which a lot of people seem to like, of let's turn it on, comparing it to the original. So let's turn that one on. Straight off the bat, we have 45%, which is pretty good. I mean, I've used it for, I don't know if that's really a bit too ambitious, certainly for Nikon's autofocus. But so I've got an update that it's asked me for. I don't know if you can see that, I hope you can, but yeah, bring it in front of your face. But so yeah, it automatically did that, which I thought was quite nice. I've got 45% battery. Now bearing in mind that I've done, I think 3 rides in 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees, possibly max of 7. I'm pretty happy with a battery that's only had 1 charge cycle. So yeah, if any of you are worried about the battery, my early indications are that you shouldn't necessarily be. But let's get the update. I kind of like the fact that they are updating already. I mean, this is a pre-order. This is like a pre-order. They're still shipping the pre-orders, and we've already got an update. And I do like the fact that when I was looking at the release notes of the update, it had both, things that have been done on both platforms, which is good because it means they're fully supporting this. And I kind of like that. There's so many products out there that people can't be bothered supporting beyond the, sometimes not even the 2 years of a warranty, let alone the kind of 6 years of expected life. I think certainly in the European community is expecting of. Now this also has the auto updates, so we're going to restart and install. So let's set that going. On the original, I've just got the alert saying there's an update available, so we're going to do that. And I haven't got auto updates. I'm going to turn that on. Well, actually, I turned it off because it downloaded a few times over cellular, which is not great. Now, in terms of system performance, it seems to, I'm sure you saw in the previous video, this thing seems to rattle through updates. So I haven't checked to see what the stats are. But, I mean, this device is now a few years old, and it still performs. From a processing power point of view, compared to a few people who have had high-end devices that were probably even launched with underpowered processors, I'm pretty happy with this. So yeah, the Karoo's almost finished installing, and the old one's still updating. But again, that could be just priorities of servers and things like that. But it is a few years old now. I mean, this design is, I got it in, was it 17 or 18? So it's by no means a slow coach. It's just, this is fast. So that, what looked like a firmware upload or an uploading icon was just that the firmware was still updating. But if we look at the updates that I've got here on the phone, we have better Di2 pairing. Apparently it was working in a way that people were not expecting, counterintuitively. There's a lot of fixes in here if you have a look. 1.3 maps, in-ride alerts, The phone pairing, sensor pairing is a lot quicker. And the dashboard fixes third-party logos. Let's have a look. So yeah, some of these seem to have changed. It's still at 43%. I don't know what the little battery icon is there, but I'll have a look. Right, because that was so hard to see, I have done it here. So let me see if you can, yeah. So these are the icons I meant there, and it's not very clear what they are until you go, sorry, go down like that, and then you press the down arrow, and now you can see everything it says. So this one is the auto pause that caused the beep in the other video, which I will hopefully put a card to at some point there. Then this one is the sensors. I don't know why you turn the sensors on and off, but there you go. It's probably saved battery. So yeah, and you can turn the audio alerts off, which yeah, is kind of useful, I suppose. But that's where that is, and it's kind of like you would have by dragging down on an Android device. And it's finally dipped to minus 99% while I sorry, to 99% since I've managed to record this. But auto pause, I'm going to turn auto pause off because I don't like auto pause. But yeah, I hope that helps. Let's turn it off. So it seems that it was updating the firmware. The old one still restarting. So the sensors looks pretty much the same. I'll put a link to the full update down in the description, but I mean that looks pretty much the same as it was. I don't know if you can, unfortunately the screen doesn't really show me whether you can see that or not. But it says they've improved the pairing, and I just realised, so the turn-by-turn directions I have on cue on, which is the second one. Don't know if there's no way. This format doesn't work as well. I'm using a mirrorless camera rather than the phone for the last update. Maybe the mistake, but tell me if that should be wrong, but I'm going to be doing the turn-by-turn directions on cue for tomorrow's bigger ride. So it's done 100 kilometers and 10 hours of being on, and it's still at 40% including updates. So let's have a look at the phone pairing. I don't think I ever paired this phone. So iPhone users choose Karoo 2 from the Bluetooth settings. So go to Bluetooth. Do I have a Karoo 2 in here? I do, but it's not connected. That's interesting. Okay, share system notifications. I do get notifications, so I must have paired it at some point. Well done. Bluetooth audio, can't be bothered. So yeah, I'll put the link to the updates that are in there. It's all working pretty, I'm pretty impressed with this thing. It is a lot smaller. It is a lot lighter. It is much firmer in the mount. I'm using my old Garmin Direct mounts with the adapter, and you can see it's still a very low profile even with the adapter on. Sadly, you still cannot buy, nor will they let you 3D mount your own 3D print your own mounts. But you know, so far so good. This is pretty rock solid. I'm not tempted really to use the lanyard. Tomorrow's ride might be a gravel ride, so who knows? I might go back. I was using, as a tip, I'll hopefully get a video out at some point. But you can use. I was using strong fishing line through there, and hooking it to the. Creating a lasso loop to the mount, which I think was a lot nicer than a lanyard. Just, I mean, it made me feel like it made me feel like some funny old tourist with a fanny pack, or a bum bag, as we call it in this part of the world. It's not good. But yeah, 42% thinks it's in a ride. Somehow I've managed to do that. But what I'm going to do now is another video where I'm going to start bringing down the Di2 stats on a 1x and comparing them to 2x, because from my experience so far, and I think the stats are going to show out, that on a 1x you use more ratios more of the time. And it's finally come up. By the way, I haven't checked the screen settings, but the screen a lot brighter than this screen. Nice. So it's now downloading the 1.3 maps. I think, wait, you got it there a second. Wait, we've managed to get the screen. Interestingly, we've got this screen. So it's downloading the maps. I'm going to check this one to see if it's got the 1.3 maps already. So let's go to, it will be in settings. Offline maps. Can we get that? It seems I've got them, so I'm going to go to, well, there's no kind of alert there. That's terrible that I can get one. Hopefully you can see this. I mean, I'm looking at this on a tiny, not very high res, 2 and a bit inch screen. So then if we go to settings and about, and look at maps information, so radio firmware, build number, model Karoo 2, no, so yeah, I think it's already got, those must be the maps that we had to update at the beginning that are now finally coming to the Karoo 1, but again, I may be wrong, feel free to tell me so in the comments. And yeah, I can't see the maps, but who cares? I mean, I'm pretty, for me the maps, I've quite often just navigated with breadcrumbs anyway and find them a bit less distracting. The Karoo changed that in that the maps, the PPI of the screen means that you can actually follow maps whilst pegging along on road or mountain bikes, pretty much the same thing. On road you're going much faster, but there's obviously less detail in your differences. You're usually following a road. It's very easy. In a mountain bike you're going slower, but there are potentially more paths because you're off a road. And paths can sort of appear from paths, which aren't always conveyed very easily on a map. So now you can get to a fork which becomes a fork, and it's not clear if if it's a 3-pointed fork from the original or it's a 2-pointed fork that then goes to another fork. I think we'll leave the fork conversation. You'll either know what I mean or you're going, what's wrong with this guy? In which case